Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you guys are doing well. Today we will be discussing Business Studies Unit 3 Globalization of Business. So, it is the chapter under the Business Studies part of the Social Studies subject of the Karnataka State Board. So, let's begin with this. In this chapter, we will be learning meaning of globalization, the factors that are included in globalization, the main characteristics of globalization, advantages of globalization, disadvantages of globalization, and last but not the least, WTO, that is about the World Trade Organization. So, to give you the brief introduction about the globalization, let's understand the term globalization in brief or in simple terms. Later, we will be discussing in detail about its meaning. So, in simple terms, globalization is conducting the business across the world. That means it is every company conducts the business in its own country. But when a company conducts business internationally, in the perspective or in the aspect of the nation, it is called as globalization. And when we consider it individually, it is called as international company. Why? Because it is conducting the business internationally. That is, it is conducting the business across the many nations. Apart from its home country, it is also conducting the business in other countries. If that particular company is conducting the business in its own country, then it is called as domestic company. So, but the domestic company and international company is out of the purview of our topic. Let's concentrate on the globalization. Okay. For your detailed information, I have discussed this aspect of domestic company and international company because it is somewhere related to globalization. Okay, so let's begin with our chapter. Globalization is not a new phenomena to business field. The period between 1870 and 1913 played a growing trend towards the globalization. So globalization is not a new phenomenon to business field. That means it is an age old aspect, it is an age old practice that is going on the business. For more reference, they have provided us the year also, that is between 1870. Okay, here you can see 1870, in the year 1870 and 1913. So these are the years that played a growing trend towards the globalization. So this is the time period where the globalization, uh, is trending. सभी लोग चर्चा कर रहे थे globalization के regarding. So, but after 1980, globalization achieved great progress in economic reforms of developing countries. So, up till 1913, people were only discussing. They were thinking about globalization. But after the 1980, people, started practicing it practically, and as a result of it, they achieved great progress in the economic reform. So, who achieved the great progress? The developing countries. Because of this globalization, many developing countries got the major benefit out of it. Of the late achievements in technology, communication, and internet communication systems have made large business units as the global units. That mean the activities of these large business units are not confined only to the place where they are established, but spread all over the world. So what happened, because of the globalization took place, there happened the widespread exchange of technology, communication, and internet communication systems. You know, not only the widespread this thing take place, but what exactly happened is developing countries got access to technology, new communication systems, and internet communication systems got developed. So because of this, business units became the global units, as I have explained it in the beginning of this topics. Why they have become global units? Because they are not confined. Confined means restricted. They are not restricted only to the place where they are established. Suppose a country, suppose there is a company called ABC Company. So it is doing business in India only. But when it started doing its business, that means when it started exporting its products to other countries like USA, UK, Japan, then it becomes as global unit. Why? Because it has started doing business transactions with other countries also. So it is called as global unit. When it is doing business in its own country, when it is restricted doing the business in its own country, then it is called as domestic unit or domestic company. Okay. So let's move forward. As a result of this close relation and interdependence among the countries of the world has increased because of this globalization. The connection between the countries and the interdependence among the countries got increased, and what happened, the interdependence, because people, the countries started exchanging their products, exchanging their technology, so there came the interdependence among the countries. So as because interdependence has increased, the business interdependence among the countries of the world has increased, and the business and the market have become worldwide unit. So because of this globalization, the business of the country and the markets have become the worldwide units. As I have explained earlier, they are not restricted to doing business in the country where they were established. ठीक है, जो कंपनीज थे वे सिर्फ अपने कंट्री में ही बिजनेस करने तक सीमित नहीं रहे, उन्होंने बाकी की जो दूसरी अलग अलग कंट्रीज हैं, बाकी के जो देश हैं, उनके साथ भी बिजनेस करना स्टार्ट कर दिया. So let's move forward to the meaning of globalization. Okay. So here we will be discussing the meaning of globalization. Okay. So let's move. The International Monetary Fund, that is IMF, has defined the globalization as growing economic interdependence. Here we are discussing the meaning of globalization. Okay. See here it is the thing. IMF. So what is IMF? The full form, the abbreviation is IMF. The full form is International Monetary Fund. IMF is, it is an institute which helps the countries in analyzing and supporting the financial conditions of a country. Okay. So it is enough for you guys to know about this. Much is enough in respect of IMF. Okay. So let's see what this institute defines globalization, how this institute defines. Okay. So the IMF defined the globalization as the growing economic interdependence of countries worldwide through increasing volume and variety of cross-border transactions in goods and services and of international capital flow. So the growing interdependence of globalization means the growing economic interdependence of countries worldwide Which type of interdependence? Economic interdependence. So the growing economic interdependence of the countries worldwide through increasing volume and variety of cross-border transactions and goods and services, and of international capital flow. So along with this growing interdependence among the countries, what uh, what resulted this interdependence? It increased the volume and variety of cross-border transactions. Cross-border transactions means the conducting of business across the nations. Cross-border means another side of the border. That means another side. That means we are crossed our border. हमने अपने सीमाओं को क्रॉस कर दिया है. Here, the border means the geographical boundaries. Okay, that means we started doing the transactions with other countries. In which type of transactions? Goods and services, supply of goods and services, and international capital flow. So we started doing exports and imports. So along with that, what has happened? International capital flow. When we exported the goods, we got the foreign currency. So that's why they have mentioned the international capital flow along with goods and services. What has also got exchanged? Capital flows also got exchanged, and also through the more rapid and widespread diffusion of technology. Along with this, what has happened? The widespread diffusion of technology. Diffusion in common layman language, what we can say that diffusion is spread, but here the diffusion means the exchange of technology, the spread of use of technology. Okay. सो यहाँ पे ग्लोबलाइजेशन का मतलब क्या दिया है? द ग्रोइंग इंटरडिपेंडेंस, यू नो, जो बढ़ती हुई डिपेंडेंस है अमंग द कंट्रीज वर्ल्ड वाइड. सिर्फ एक ही जगह के बारे में नहीं बताया गया, ये पूरे पूरे विश्व में ये सब हो रहा था. इंटरडिपेंडेंस बढ़ रही थी, तो उससे क्या हो रहा था? इंक्रीजिंग द वॉल्यूम एंड वैरायटी ऑफ क्रॉस बॉर्डर ट्रांजैक्शन. वॉल्यूम मतलब यहाँ पे पहले कुछ एक या दो कंपनीज होती थी जो एक्सपोर्ट कर रही थी, बट अब ज्यादा से ज्यादा कंपनीज एक्सपोर्ट कर रही हैं. पहले एक या दो थी, तो अब 50-100 से भी ज्यादा कंट्रीज यू नो दूसरे कंट्रीज को अपने प्रोडक्ट्स एक्सपोर्ट कर रही है. तो इसलिए वॉल्यूम भी वॉल्यूम का शब्द उपयोग किया गया है. तो increasing volume and variety of cross-border transactions in goods and services. और क्या, और किस चीज की बढ़ोतरी हुई है? क्रॉस बॉर्डर ट्रांजैक्शंस इन गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. जो वस्तु और सेवाएं हैं, गुड्स मतलब वस्तु, सर्विसेज मतलब सेवाएं. जो वस्तु और सेवाओं का आदान प्रदान है, उसमें भी बढ़ोतरी हुई है. और किस चीज में बढ़ोतरी हुई है? इंटरनेशनल कैपिटल फ्लो, मतलब जो फॉरेन करेंसी रहती है, दूसरे देश की करेंसी. अब जब हम किसी देश को अपने प्रोडक्ट बेचेंगे, एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे, यहाँ से जब हम अपने प्रोडक्ट्स बेचते हैं तो उसे कहते हैं एक्सपोर्ट. और जब हम किसी दूसरे देश से प्रोडक्ट खरीदते हैं तो उससे कहते हैं इम्पोर्ट. सो एक्सपोर्ट इम्पोर्ट की वजह से उनका कैपिटल हमारे पास आ गया, हमारा कैपिटल उनके पास गया. सो ये कैपिटल फ्लो भी होता रहा. एंड ऑल्सो थ्रू द मोर रैपिड एंड वाइड स्प्रेड टेक्नोलॉजी. और क्या हुआ? जो टेक्नोलॉजीज थी, उनके टेक्नोलॉजीज के बारे में हमें पता चला, हमारे टेक्नोलॉजीज के बारे में उनको पता चला. सो from this definition, it is clear that globalization is increasing cross-border movement of goods and services. So इस definition से हमें क्या पता चल रहा है? ग्लोबलाइजेशन से गुड्स और सर्विसेज का जो क्रॉस बॉर्डर मूवमेंट है, मतलब दूसरे देशों को जो हम सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, वो बढ़ रहा है. इंटरनेशनल फ्लो ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, कैपिटल एंड इंफॉर्मेशन. और क्या क्या हो रहा है? इंटरनेशनल कैपिटल फ्लो बढ़ रहा है, एक्सचेंज हो रही है टेक्नोलॉजी, और इंफॉर्मेशन भी एक्सचेंज हो रहा है. Formation of one worldwide market by obtaining raw materials and other resources from cheap market. तो और भी क्या चीज हो रही है ग्लोबलाइजेशन से? हमें जहां से सस्ता रॉ मटेरियल मिल रहा है, द प्लेस from which we are getting the raw materials at lower cost. We are purchasing from there, and hence we are creating a market where the things will be available at cheap price. ठीक है, जहाँ पे वस्तु सस्ते दामों पे मिल रही हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि हम क्योंकि हम दूसरे देशों से हमारा व्यवहार बढ़ रहा है, तो हमें कम दामों में रॉ मटेरियल मिल रहा है। जो एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए जिस चीज की लागत होती है, कच्चा माल जिसे हम कहते हैं, वो हमें सस्ते में मिल रहा है, तो हम प्रोडक्ट भी सस्ते में बेचेंगे। तो ये ग्लोबलाइजेशन का फायदा है। और क्या क्या हो रहा है ग्लोबलाइजेशन से? प्रोडक्शन ऑफ गुड्स इन एनी रीजन of the world at a cheaper cost. So another benefit of globalization, we can say, is production of goods. Goods are getting produced in any region of the world at cheaper cost. Earlier, suppose in India we are manufacturing a product. Earlier it was costing 100 rupees, but after the globalization, we have adopted the technologies of different countries. We have adopted the new technique, so that has reduced the cost, and now we are manufacturing the product at 70 rupees. So this is the plus point for us. ठीक है। सो पहले हम कोई भी प्रोडक्ट को 100 रुपए में बेचते थे, अब जबकि ग्लोबलाइजेशन के वजह से हमें दूसरे कंट्रीज के टेक्नोलॉजीज के बारे में पता चला है, दूसरे कंट्रीज के टेक्निक्स के बारे में पता चला है, तो अब हमें वो प्रोडक्ट 70 रुपए में बन के मिल रहा है। तो ये एक अच्छी बात है। इससे हम अपने गुड्स को सस्ते दामों में बेचेंगे, सस्ते दामों में बेचेंगे तो डिमांड ज्यादा होगी, ठीक है, और हमारा सेल ज्यादा होगा। So let's move to the next part. So the factors which include in globalization. तो globalization में और क्या क्या चीजें जुड़ी हुई हैं? So what other things are related to globalization? ठीक है, what are the things that makes the globalization? Let's understand. Globalization refers to the worldwide phenomena of technical, economical, political, and cultural exchanges brought about by modern communication, transportation, and legal infrastructure, as well as the political choice to concisely open cross-border links in the international trade and finance. So, globalization का मतलब है, globalization refers to the worldwide phenomena of technical, economic, political, and cultural exchanges. So, what happened? Because of globalization, the technical, economic, and political and cultural things started getting exchanged. We started sharing our technologies, we started sharing our economic policies, we started sharing our political facts, political policies, and we started sharing our cultural aspects. What by? How we are sharing? Bought by modern communication, transport and legal infrastructure. Communication में इतना सब कुछ डेवलपमेंट हुआ जिसके हमने देखा मॉडर्न कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम्स, कंप्यूटर सिस्टम्स, इंटरनेट आ गया, मॉडर्न ट्रांसपोर्ट फैसिलिटीज आ गए। So because of this, we have brought the technical, economic and political exchanges, uh, which has promoted us. इससे क्या हुआ? कैसे हमने ये किया? मॉडर्न कम्युनिकेशन, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन और लीगल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से किया, एज वेल एज और किस चीज से किया? कंसाइजली ओपन दी क्रॉस बॉर्डर लिंक्स इन इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड एंड फाइनेंस। क्रॉस बॉर्डर लिंक्स मतलब हमने जब दूसरे देशों के साथ ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट किया, व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड डूइंग द ट्रेड विद अदर कंट्रीज, दिस aspect got into picture. Okay. Globalization encourages international capital and trade, overcoming the political barriers among the countries. So, what globalization does, it encourages, it motivates international capital and trade, overcoming the political barriers among the countries. So, जो भी trade barriers है, political barriers है, suppose if there are two countries who are not in good talking terms because of some reasons. So, because of the globalization, they started conversing with each other. They started dealing in goods and services. So, this has helped to overcome their problems. Okay, through container services and shipping, globalization reduced the transport expenses. Container services means there used to be a large box type thing which we called as container, in which we can store many products as compared to packing it individually. When we pack those products in container, we can uh, we can store more and more products in less space. Okay, so because of that service in shipping, globalization reduced the transportation expenses. Because of this, more goods can be shipped at less cost, and at by taking at less space, more goods can be transported. So that has added another plus point to it. Globalization helps to reduce the restrictions on capital investment or fully removes the barriers on capital flow. Along with that, what globalization has helped, it has helped to reduce the restrictions on capital investment. Earlier, there were restrictions on the countries. If we take the example of our India, earlier we have restrictions of foreign investment. That means there is a restriction on foreign individuals to invest in our country in the several sectors, like foreign individuals cannot invest in our domestic industries. Foreign individuals cannot invest in the broadcasting industry of our country. Foreign individuals, earlier they were not able to invest in our defense sector, but after globalization all these restrictions were removed. And so what this has helped, this has helped in capital investment. Okay, we got more foreign investment in our country. Globalization creates subsidies to the World Trade Organization. What Along with that, what globalization has created? It has created the subsidies to the World Trade Organization. Subsidies means some relief in taxation and some reduce in the prices. That is called as subsidies. So because of this globalization, we also got some tax reliefs and reduction in the cost. Globalization creates harmonization of intellect property laws across the majority of the states, which have more restrictions. Intellect property laws means, suppose if there is a product ABC on which there is an intellect property which got copyrighted, that means we cannot copy it, or that is patented. If that product is patented and copyrighted, we cannot make copy of it and sell. Also, there are some restrictions on selling of that product. So because of this globalization, as we have studied that restrictions got removed. So because of this globalization, many countries become they become more flexible and started removing the and started not removing, we can say started easing their intellect property laws. They have given us the example. Some patented goods of China are found in some prominent business houses of America. Earlier we cannot use the products. Earlier we cannot use all the products of a country because of this intellect property rights, this patent laws and copyright laws. But after globalization, they have eased the restrictions, and we can use other countries' products also without any restriction. So that has added the plus point. So let's move further. Main characteristics of globalization: increase in the international trade at a faster rate for the growth of world economy. So, what globalization does is it increases the international trade at faster rate for the growth of world economy. इकोनॉमी को ग्रो करने के लिए ग्लोबलाइजेशन ट्रेड को बहुत ही ज्यादा पुश करता है, मोटिवेट करता है बढ़ने के लिए। ठीक है, तो हमारा ट्रेड बढ़ेगा, बिजनेस बढ़ेगा, तो इकोनॉमी भी जल्दी से ग्रो करेगी। ओके, So increases the international flow of capital, including the foreign investment, as I have explained how it has helped us in getting the foreign investment. Uh, Removing the restrictions, easing the restrictions has helped the foreign individuals to invest in the different sectors in India. Then globalization creates international agreements leading to organizations like WTO and OPEC, that is oil producing and exporting countries. Globalization has helped in creating international agreements. Because of this globalization, many institutions have came up to regulate the business. Some of the important ones are WTO, that is World Trade Organization, and OPEC, oil producing and exporting countries. That is This OPEC is particularly for the countries which are exporting the oil, like the Arab countries, Iran, Iraq. Yeah, for them, institute got came up to regulate the trade of oil. Okay, so what has globalization does? What other things has does? Let's see. Development of global financial system. You know, we got a global financial system during as it is a recent thing. If you are being in touch with the Russia-Ukraine war, there we got a news called they have started thinking of banning the SWIFT system. So what was that SWIFT system? Through that system, they're used to conduct the international transactions between the two countries. It is some type of we can say it is some type of messaging system which transfers the information, which helps to conduct. In short, it helps to conduct the financial transactions internationally, with that is financial transactions with other countries. So this globalization has, because we are dealing with the other countries, so that has given rise to the development of the financial system, an efficient financial system, because there should not be any problem. If we are dealing in goods and services, then we must get the money. So to get the money, we need a strong, efficient, and reliable financial system. So globalization has given rise to such a financial system. So next point is increase the role of international organizations such as WTO, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, IMF, International Monetary Fund, etc., that deal with international transactions. So globalization has given rise, or the development of the institutions. Because of this globalization, these institutions like WTO, WIPO, IMF, etc., that came into being, or that came into limelight to regulate the transactions. Okay. Next point, increase economic practices like outsourcing by multinational corporations. What it has helped, what globalization has helped, it has increased the outsourcing of the practices. Outsourcing means getting a work done by third party. Because of the globalization, the work pressure got increased on the company. So some part, some like if a company is manufacturing a product, the packaging sector, the packaging part is given to another. The it is given That task is provided to another company or another institute to get it done more efficiently and more quickly. So that is called as outsourcing, getting our things done with the help of third party. Okay. The next is creates international cultural exchange. We also started exchanging our cultural aspects, you know uh, um, as per the requirements of the Indian cultural systems. Products can be developed, products are started getting developed in other countries also. So their cultural aspects got exchanged to us. We came to know their cultural aspects. Our cultural aspects also got spread to the world, and world came to know how rich is our cultural heritage. Okay, so that has also helped. So globalization has helped in that aspect also. Spreading of multiculturalization and better individual access to cultural, it is the same point which they have exaggerated. So next is creates international travel and tourism because of exports and all. We came to know about different countries. We created a jest. It got created a desire, to travel to that country. Oh, this product is manufactured in so and so country, so let's see there, let's go and visit there. Let's see how that product is got manufacturing. If there are any chances, we can also bring that product to our country. So in this way, it has motivated people to travel to that country, which in turn has helped to, which is in turn, which is that has helped to develop the tourism and this traveling sector. Okay, get a greater immigration, including illegal immigration. Along with this good aspects, there we got an aspect of illegal immigration. Matlab, the transacting of the goods illegally, exchanging of the goods illegally. Along with the good aspects, we got bad aspects also. Immigration means transfer of goods from one country to another, and illegal is that is by violating the laws of the country. Okay, that means we started exporting illegal products like alcohol, that is the the bad quality alcohol, the drugs, the gold. We that is smuggling, and all these practices took place. So the next point is spread of local food such as pizza and Indian food to other countries. We came to know about their food. The other people came to know about the Indian food. Development of global telecommunication infrastructure and greater transfer broader data flow. So what has also happened with the help of globalization? We started, as I have explained, we started exchanging the technology, we started exchanging our communication system. So that has created a good infrastructure in in the communication sector. Use of technology such as exchange of data technology, internet communication, satellites, and cell phones improves. We also got exposure to internet, you know, because of this globalization. Um to promote the globalization, we can say internet was brought. With the help of internet, other things has also got developed. We are teaching online. Internet is used in many other sectors also. Okay, so with that communication, because we are in need of internet, we started launching the satellites also. We started improving the cell phones. Earlier there were keypad, that is the hybrid, we can say, that is the normal cell phones. Now we are getting the smartphones, which in which we have each and every feature preloaded. Okay, so these are the some aspects which includes the globalization. These are some characteristics, we can say. Okay, so let's learn up in now. We will learn particularly what are the plus points, that is what are the advantages of globalization. Globalization promotes economic growth and generates a wider range of products and services. Globalization helps in growing our economy, that is, it helps in the growth aspect of economy. Then it also generates a wider range of products and services. Because we came to know about more products and services, we also started producing it and generating it. That is one and the same. Okay. So next, globalization helps to increase standard of living of the people. Because we came to know about the other products, which will be helpful for the mankind. So we started accepting that product. So which in turn that has helped to increase the standard of living of the people. For this, I can give you the example. Because of this globalization, we came to know about the medical facilities of the other countries. Okay, which are the techniques, which are the new machines they are using. Because of that, we also started producing it in our country. We have also some parts we are producing, or the whole machinery got produced in our country. If that particular technology is not available, we started importing the that particular technology or that particular machine. So that has helped in developing the health of the country. They're developing the health of the people of their country. So standard of living means the quality of life that has improved the quality of our life. Next point. So let's move to the next point. Globalization has made the availability of similar type of products all over the world. We are getting similar products all over the world. Now it is not like that. The American products are not available in India, or the Indian products are not available in India. We are getting one and the same products in different parts of the world. Globalization increases the GDP of the country, as I have told. Because of this globalization, we have started exporting the products, so which in turn is helping to increase the GDP. Okay, so let's move. Globalization has helped in increasing the income of the people, as I have told that because of this globalization, we have started producing more and more products. As we have started producing more and products, uh, this requires, more and more manpower. More and more manpower means we have started giving employment to the people. If we have started giving employment of the people, they have started earning a good income. So in this way, globalization has helped increasing the income of the people also. So by next point is by buying the products from other countries, customers are offered a much wider choice of products, of goods and services. So it has given us a variety of products and goods and services to choose. Earlier, we have very limited products. In suppose we are going to buy a TV. Earlier, we have very limited choices, one or two companies. But now, after globalization, we have n number of companies. We have many choices. Okay, so that is the meaning of this point. That is what they want to convey. Okay, so let's move to the next point. Globalization creates competition for local firms and thus keeps the cost down. Globalization creates a competition, for the local firm and thus keeps the costs down. In a one way, it is the advantage. As we have, suppose a company is producing TV, Indian company is producing the TV. It is charging us, uh, more than the normal price. Suppose it is after adding the margin, the fair price of the TV is 15,000, but it is charging us the 35,000. As because we have got the globalization, we got the variety of products from other countries also. So the same quality of the TV with the same features we are getting in 15,000. So that is pushing. So now, because of this, it will push that domestic company to cut down its cost. So this will benefit the customer at last. At the end, this will benefit the customer. So we will be getting products at lower cost. This is the meaning of the point. Okay. So next point is globalization promotes specialization. Countries can begin to specialize in those products that are best at making. So as we came to study that globalization is promoting exports and imports. So countries came to know in which product or in which aspect they are good at. So they have started creating more and more that product. Suppose if a country is producing TV and they developed a good technology in it, they have become experts in it. Like we can take the example of Japan. Japan has now got a good hold in manufacturing of electric products. So they got the specialization of it. Yeah, because of this globalization, they used to export the products. So people started liking their products. Now they got specialists in that. Okay. So next point, economic interdependence among different countries can build improved political and social needs. Because of this globalization, we started dealing with other countries. So that is helping us to maintain good relations with other countries also. So this is the another advantage. Let's move to the next point. Now let's study the disadvantages or the negative impacts of globalization. Though it is true that globalization has brought new dimensions to the world, it is true that globalization has bring many new things, and people are mingling with each other more freely and professionally. People have started mingling means interacting with each other more freely, more professionally, more effectively. There are certain challenges one need to face in accepting the new U-turn, which means there are some challenges in this also. Some of the negative impacts of the globalization are as follows. Let's see the negative impacts. In order to cut down the costs, many firms in developed nations have outsourced their manufacturing, the white collar jobs to the third world countries where the cost of the labor is low. Globalization also led to increase in activities such as child labor and slavery. See, because we know globalization, if we are selling the goods at the higher cost, no one will purchase from us. So because of that, the company will think that let's reduce the cost of the product so that more and more people will buy from us. To reduce the cost of the product, what they will do, they will outsource a particular aspect of that product so as to cut down the cost. As I've told, outsourcing is getting the work done from the third party. You know, so company is manufacturing the TV. So while they were packing it from their side, it is costing them 100 rupees per product. But when they started outsourcing the packing aspect of that particular product, now they are getting it done in 50 rupees. So this has helped to reduce the overall cost of the product. So because of this, what is happening? Uh, there is pressure on the work getting done. If a company is outsourcing a particular work to another company, so that company has to get it done at any cost. Matlab that particular company has to finish that outsourcing work by hook or by crook. So to get that work done in at a lower cost, they are taking the help of children. See, children are very innocent. Children means the age of 14, 15, 16 years. They are showing some, what we can say. They are telling that, oh, come us, we will give you some money to get this work done. Then this innocent child will do the work at a very low cost. Yeah, where an adult will take 40 rupees to pack it, the child will take 10 to 15 rupees to get it done. So in this way, it has increased the child labor also. Next is globalization has resulted in fiercely competitive global market with the embarrassment of unethical practices and business dealings. In the race of doing the business, in the race of exporting and importing, there are many unethical practices also taking place in the dealings. They have started, as I have told, they are started smuggling, this illegal immigrations. All these negative and unethical practices started taking place because of globalization. What another negative impact is, it has also observed that globalization had terrorists and criminals. As I have told, terrorists and criminals now they are exchanging their products in the name of globalization. They are exchanging the illegal products. Next is globalization has expanded the growth and development of cities, which has been reduced to garbage dumps where all the industrial waste is accumulated and pollution levels are sky high. In the name of globalization, what they are doing, the where there are poor countries, they are manufacturing there. The companies are manufacturing their products because they will get the land at a very low cost. To set up the plant, they will get the land at very low cost. And next, they are dumping. Matlab, they are throwing their waste there itself. They are not taking the waste to their country. They are getting a place to dump, to throw the waste. Because of that, pollution levels is also increasing because they are not properly managing the waste. See, we have to manage the waste in a proper way. Otherwise, it will get into our environment. It will start affecting the health of the people. They are ignoring this aspect in the name of globalization. They are polluting our environment. Next negative impact is fast food chains like McDonald's and KFC are spreading fast in developing world. People have started consuming more junk food. This results in degradation of health and spread of diseases. The traditionally family attached food habits are being slowly disappearing because of this exposure. Because of globalization, we got exposure to the Western world. So after getting exposure to their products, we have also came to know, as we have discussed, we came to know, we exchanged the cultural aspects also. In the cultural aspects, we came to know what food they are eating, what food we are eating. We came to know that, oh, the Western side people are eating this burgers, pizza, that is just junk food from these restaurants, from these things. So people have started consuming more junk. So this has affected the health of the people. The traditional family attached food, matlab the traditional food which we used to cook in India, the rice, the roti, that has got disappeared. Now no one likes the rice, roti, and traditionally cooked food. All the people are liking this pizza, burger, noodles, and everything. So this has affecting the health. Eating more of this junk food is also not good for our health. Okay, so in this way, it has negatively impacted. Another point is comment leveled is that rich are getting richer and poor are struggling for a square meal. In the name of globalization, rich people are getting more richer. How? By exporting their products, by doing big business deals. And why poor are struggling? Because you know to get the costs low, these companies are forcing the poor people to to work at the lower wage level. Yeah, they are giving them less salary. And poors, what the poor people need is they need only some money because they are very much in need of that. So thinking that, oh, nothing is better than something, so let's work. So in this way, poor are struggling for a square meal. Square meal means a 3 to 4 times for a to get the food 3 to 4 times. Square has the four sides, so 4 times meal means in a day usually people eat 3 to 4 times, right? So for that also they are struggling. Forget about the lavish, forget about the luxury lifestyle. Poor are struggling to get the food, the basic necessities. So in this way, globalization is, negatively impacting us. Okay, some of the deadly virus diseases such as this AIDS and cancer, dengue fever, etc., spread all over the world. How this aspect I will explain you. As we have discussed, we got exposure to the Western side. So Western people, we came to know that, oh, Western people started drinking this type of soft drinks. It's Coca-Cola, Pepsis, and all and all. Yeah, they have started eating the junk food. They have started eating this particular food. The so and so other types of foods. That foods may contain, the dangerous chemicals. We don't know what they are mixing in it. So we are consuming it thinking that, oh, Western people are manufacturing it and it will be good for our health. They are, we are thinking that it is a fashion. No, actually, it is not the fashion. Actually, we are affecting it our health. People after consuming it, people started getting this, cancer and all. So it is also affecting our health. Next point is globalization has led to environmental degradation. As this point is earlier we have discussed. Our environment is getting polluted. The water pollution, air pollution. Yeah, so in this way, it is affecting our environment also. It is affecting our people's health also. Each and every aspect it is affecting. The amount of raw materials needed to run industries and factories is taking heavy toll on natural reserves of planet Earth, and pollution has severely impacted the quality of air we need so much for our survival. In the name of globalization, we started overusing our natural resources. We started what we have started consuming more and more of the natural resources, which in turn has resulted the depletion of it. We are using more and more of water, and we are cutting down more and more of trees in name of global, but we are not again planting it. So it is becoming difficult for our survival. One day will come where we will be needing oxygen cylinders to get the pure air, because we are cutting trees at such a fast speed in the name of globalization and development. So that is what they are explaining. We are overusing our natural resources and polluting our environment. Okay. So next point is the other challenges of globalization are cheap imports of goods from developing nations could lead to unemployment in developed countries where the cost of production is high. So as I told, they are outsourcing. The companies are outsourcing their work because they want to get the work done in the lower cost. So the everything. So if the country started producing they started outsourcing the activities to other nations. Then what will people do in their country? They will get unemployed because everything is outsourced. What work will do the people who are residing in that particular country? Hmm? So this is creating unemployment problem in the developed countries. Further, it leads to increased competition for infant industries. Infant means small, so it is creating competition for small industries and small scale industries by dumping the goods by certain countries to below cost price by may harm industries in other countries. So how they are creating the threat to the small scale industries is, you know these because of this globalization, the big companies are expert in producing the goods at low cost, producing it effectively, efficiently, more good quality, more quickly at a lower cost. But small scale industries doesn't have that type of expertise, that type of technology. So they will be producing it at higher cost. So people are purchasing the goods at the lower cost, which are produced by these big companies. So no one will purchase the goods of the small scale industries, which are costing them, which are costing them more than the products manufactured by these big companies. So in this way, it is affecting the small scale industries also. So this was it for today's class. If you like this, do share it with your friends. Hope you like this video. If there are any doubts, please put in the comments. I will be happy to explain you. I will be happy to clear all your doubts. Um, in the next part, we will continue with the World Trade Organization. And if you want to discuss the question and answers of this lesson, do let me know in the comment section. I will be preparing a lesson for that also. Okay. Thank you for listening to me. Take care.